fall, I went to Chicago and I got a really cool jet ski. But the coolest thing I did all summer was help the elementary school design team go look at schools.
Wow, tell me about what you saw and your ideas for what is needed at the new school to help students learn.
I saw 5 different new elementary schools. What I liked was that some had spinny chairs, and there were rooms for all kinds of learners, and there was even a cool book nook. The last school I went to was Centerville Elementary School at Spring Lake Park. I loved that it didn't feel like a school. It was an amazing place to go and learn.
Yeah, I remember I was on that last tour with you and a few other students, and I loved that the adults kept asking us questions about what we wanted and what we thought would be important for students.
I know, it's so cool. And I'm only 9, and I guess my ideas really do matter.
Yeah, I'm 17, and I feel like my ideas have always mattered at Prior Lake Savage area schools.
Oh, sorry, Betty. This is Assistant Superintendent Holmberg and the design team. My focus on something else. See you, Maddie. I hope you have an awesome senior year.
Wow, I really have had an interesting journey at PLSAS because of the ideas of our staff and my ideas being supported. I came to Prior Lake Savage area schools in 5th grade and I went to Glendale Elementary. I came from Winona, about 2 hours south of here, a small town, and I was super nervous and a timid little girl, not really knowing what to expect from the big cities. When I first got here, I felt very academically challenged. In Winona, I was in the Destination Imagination program and the Gifted and Talented program, and when I got here, I was an average student, no better or no worse than any other student, and that gave me a lot of internal motivation to be the best student that I could be. Despite all the academic challenges, I did make a lot of new relationships and new friendships with people in the neighborhood, people at my school, and through sports. So moving into middle school, I was really excited because I wouldn't feel like the new kid anymore, because everybody was new. Some of the key highlights that I remember are getting our iPads in 8th grade, which who could forget that? Walking between the middle schools because we got to pretend we were on a Southern California campus, walking with our best friends to the other building, even though it was like -30 out. And really just figuring out who we were as people and where we belonged. So when we got our iPads in 8th grade was when my learning truly began to feel personalized. If our teachers were talking up at the board or working with another student, we could easily snap a picture of the screen and go up and follow up with them, asking for clarification or explanation on what we learned. I think it's so cool how more and more kids these days are using technology in the classroom because it opens ideas and broadens perspectives on kids that, without technology, those doors are closed. Now, with our iPads, there definitely were many challenges that were being faced. Many buttons were pushed, figuratively and literally, and in the end, though, it developed, through teamwork and mutual respect, a really good, trusting bond between teachers and students. Now, all in all, we genuinely had the world at our fingertips. If our teachers were busy talking to another student or working on something else and they couldn't answer questions at the time, we could easily look something up in under 5 minutes and we had the same answer and the same result as if we went up and asked our teacher. So the ideas really started boiling when I decided to branch out and try something new and take German in 8th grade. I found very quickly that it's easy to find your own passions when you surround yourself with people who are passionate about what they're teaching and learning or talking about. And I feel that that's something that Prior Lake really excels in, is having teachers and staff members who care about what they're doing and why they're doing what they do. So after taking German in 8th grade, I knew that I wanted to travel when I was older, but I just felt the need and the want to just want more than that. So I love the aspects of communication and the relationships that I had with my teachers at the high school, but I still just wanted more than that. I decided to take MinCaps as a junior last year, but I still wanted the relationships that I had built and the flexibility of an online classroom, so I did all three. I did online, traditional, and MinCaps. MinCaps was super cool because we learned no matter where we were, whether it was taking something that we learned in business class and applying it to something that we saw at the shelves at Target that night, or public speaking as I'm doing right now. MinCaps made me so excited for my future that I decided to do PSEO at Normandale this year. I'm really sad to leave the high school setting and MinCaps, but I'm super excited to take the two experiences that I've had and apply them to college at Normandale. Now, at the rate that I'm going, I plan to graduate from a 4-year university before I am 21 years old with a degree in international marketing and German. If it weren't for the small ideas that people had along my journey, I would not have nearly as many of the big experiences that I've had today. Finally, I want to say thank you to all the teachers and the staff that have helped support my ideas and give me new ideas. I wouldn't be the person that I am today without you guys, and I hope you all have a great school year.
Joy to work with these two students throughout the summer with the elementary design team, sharing their ideas, sharing their perspective, and I've been so proud of the adults along the way as well because they've really listened. We've had other students who have also been a part of that design team and people really listening to the kids about what is it that they need for their learning. Bella and Maddie are two of our 8,795 students who will enter the doors on Tuesday. They've had unique journeys, some of them a little further along in their journeys than others, but each one of them has a pathway and a journey that's individualized. And they're counting on you to make sure that their passions come to life and they've got every opportunity they want to have a very traditional experience here in Prior Lake Savage Area Schools and at our high school, which is amazing, and to have some opportunities to do some other things as Maddie talked about. I think that as teachers and as staff members, y'all have been working way too hard. And we need, right? And we need to lean into not only these two students, but we need to lean into those 8,795 students and have them be the ones to really carry some of that heavy lifting and help us determine what it is that they need. I think we need students at the center of every one of our processes. We need them at the center of every course that we write. We need them at the center of every assessment that we develop, every program we establish, and literally everything that we built. What if we really listen to these two? They've got experiences that we don't have. They've got ideas and knowledge that we don't have. What if we really listen to them? What if we listen to the 8,793 other students who are going to be joining us and really take their ideas, merge them with our ideas, and continue to make something unbelievable at Prior Lake Savage Area Schools. Maddie and Bella, thank you for kicking things off. Good luck in 4th grade. Good luck your senior year. We are so proud of you, and we want to continue to help you reach your full potential. Thank you. Welcome to 2018-19. I'm Terry Stallo, and I am proud to serve as your superintendent of Prior Lake Savage Area Schools. Our theme this year, we are PLSAS, Ideas Matter, matters, right? My first year, as I've been thinking about themes, my first year, we talked a lot about creating our future. And last year we talked about telling the stories and listening to stories of others. And we're not going to abandon that. We're going to continue to listen to stories. But the important part of listening to the stories of our students and our parents and our colleagues in our community, the important part of listening to those stories and telling our own is that we create a culture where people want to share their ideas. That's what really matters, and that's what we're going to focus on this year. We're going to look at new ways to engage students and find their passions. We're going to develop ideas around what new learning spaces look like. We're going to ensure that the teaching and learning that happens in older learning spaces still provide the same opportunities for our kids as some of the new designs. We're going to seek your ideas for how do we keep getting better every single day. We believe that sharing ideas is the way to empower all voices to continue to define who we are as PLSAS. So our outcomes for today, the formal ones are here. Our goal is that as you end this really long week, I know for some of you, that today you feel connected to one another professionally and personally. You feel empowered to share ideas. You feel reflective about your role in the work that we do and our district as a whole, and you feel inspired as we begin the year. In addition, we want to make sure that that you hear ideas today, you get a chance to reflect on your impact, and you get to remind yourselves of all the ideas that are in yourself and have the confidence to bring those forward. Right now I'd like to celebrate and thank a few people for their ideas and for contributing to getting us to where we are today. First of all, the Child Nutritious Services team continues to explore new ideas and provide fresh fruits, healthy meals, and innovation. Thank you for the delicious breakfast this morning. Those muffins were gorgeous and delicious. Thank you. DJ Storm, Sydney Pearson, and DJ T, Jackson Tressel, for mixing tunes for us this morning. Was that Thanks also to Brian Melody and Steve O'Neill for, again, having an idea, saying, what if? What if we taught kids to use all of this amazing software, to mix some tunes, to learn about music, and to help promote a positive school culture. That's what they're doing at the middle school, and that's what they did for us today. Thank you, Dr. Buzig, the custodians, and the staff here at the high school for hosting us. Thanks, Dave Tuma, for yet another test in patience as you work with me. Thanks for always being responsive and really open to my ideas. And I think Dave is a great example of what y'all do. I might have an idea that's about this big and probably not very good. And Dave takes that idea and he keeps building it and adding to it. And then we ask somebody else, usually Russ Reeds. And then we ask somebody else, usually Christy Mussman. And by the time this little idea that really wasn't much of anything started, Dave, Russ, Christy, others help make something really great. And that's what we do over and over and over for kids and for each other. So thanks, Dave, for that. Thank you to our new staff. Please stand up if you're new. Choosing Prior Lake Savage Area Schools, and thanks for still being here after about 9 days with all of us. We're really excited that you're here, and we're excited for the fresh ideas that you're going to bring. Some of you came from other districts, some of you are fresh out of the gate, and we're excited for the ideas that you're going to bring, so thank you. Welcome, and thank you to our returning staff. If you're returning, please stand up. Schools again. And some of you choose it again and again and again. And I don't ever take that for granted, because there's a lot of places you can share your ideas. and you can share your talents. And I am grateful that you're choosing to do it here, so thank you. Thanks to our staff who have been here all summer. If you've been here all summer, please stand up. To the staff who have been here all summer, our office staffs, our custodian, our DSC staff. Thank you to the staff that make sure our new staff get hired. They make sure you all get paid. They make sure that there's professional development opportunities for you so that you can get better. They make sure that there are great learning opportunities for our community. They make sure that our facilities and our buildings look absolutely fantastic like they do right now. The work really never does stop. We've got people enrolling families day after day, and in August it gets crazy here. We answer phones, we greet our community members, so thank you for all of you who work all year long, and welcome to this academic year. I also want to thank the team that I work most closely with. Our principals, our directors and senior leaders, and my executive cabinet team. The work has not slowed down. And I don't know what it was like before I got here, but I know in the 3 years that I've been here, it has not slowed down. And you have been asked to do things and put in hours and work on so much that is really, really heavy lifting. So thank you for all the work that you've done over the last 3 years, but especially this summer to prepare us for today. I'm really jazzed, so I'm starting year 4. This is the first year I'm starting as a superintendent without a referendum looming. So I don't have an excuse this year, so we'll see how that goes. We are Prior Lake Savage Area Schools, and we're led by a school board that keeps our eyes very focused on our mission, our vision, and our strategic directions. Without our school board having the expectation that we really do ensure that we educate all learners to reach their full potential as contributing and productive members of our ever-changing global community. Because we've got support around that, we're able to take advantage of that mission. We're able to make sure that that mission gives us permission and responsibility to do some things differently here. So right now I'd like to thank and introduce, we've got 3 board members that are here today. First of all, our board chair, Rich Wolf. Vice Chair, Lee Shimmick. And Treasurer, Stacy Ruel. Thank you for the long hours, the long conversations, and always maintaining that kid focus. I really appreciate you. We really appreciate you. Like right now, I'd like to invite Chair Wolf to just greet you and say a few words.
On behalf of the board, I'd like to welcome all of you back for another school year. We as a board value and appreciate your hard work and your ideas. We've had a chance to see some of those ideas as we've reviewed the beautiful new designs there for the additions and the new school going in our district. So again, thank you for all your hard work and have a great school year.
Thanks, Rich. So, let me be honest with you about the theme for a minute. I felt really good, like I said, about year 1. Creating, honoring the past, creating the future. That's a really good theme for a new superintendent, and I think it worked pretty well. Year two, I felt really good about that. We are PLSAS. Yeah, I like what we've done with that. We are Prior Lake Savage Area Schools. It's been unifying. We're doing some hashtags with it. That has worked really, really well. Last year, we extended that into the We Are PLSAS, Hear Our Stories. Really nice. So, pretty much the day after I established a theme for 1 year, I start thinking about the next year. So all year, I thought and wondered and struggled a little bit and kept coming back to this notion of ideas matter. And I wasn't totally sold on it. And I actually wasn't even sold on it once I committed to it. But then, at 7:45 on August 16th this year. I was walking into the high school to greet our amazing operations staff. And as I was coming into the school, I saw the cross-country team running, practicing, because they'd already started, and Coach John Marsh was riding his bike past me. Now, first of all, that's an excellent idea in itself, to be a cross-country coach who rides his bike. But he saw me, John saw me, he whipped his bike around, and I'm not making this up. He whipped his bike around, he came over by me, he's like, Dr. Stallo, I have an idea. It's like, I don't even really remember what the idea is. No, I don't. This is what I was excited about. I was excited that John had thought throughout the summer around how to make things better, how to do things better. What if this? What if that? What if that? I was excited about that, and I was excited that John felt comfortable sharing that idea. And I know he had shared it with a few others before he had shared it with me. That is when I'm like, all right, we're gonna work on this. This is gonna work this year. I'm confident John's gonna take that idea, and I really do remember it, and it really is a good idea. I'm confident he's gonna take that idea, he's gonna work with some other people, and he's gonna turn that idea into action. And that's what I see over and over and over in this district. Here's just a couple examples from this summer of where an idea turned to action. We had more than 400 students, Kids Company elementary students at Prior Lake High School this summer. Kyle Yetzer, who with a group of Kids Company assistants, decided to start a drama club. So there were about 50 student actors and behind the scenes crew who in 2 weeks' time put together a production of Wizard of Oz right on this stage. Pretty amazing. High school teachers, Sam Steinberg, along with Jeannie Anderson and Emily Malone from Child Nutritious Services staff, came up with an idea to run a student-run, community-supported agricultural program. 16 staff members paid a membership fee that allowed them to pick up produce each week, with proceeds going to help support the high school garden program. AP Environmental Science students helped harvest the produce from the high school and distribute it to the staff. This summer, Prior Lake High School and Bridges students helped bring an idea to life that is benefiting our entire community. The Prior Lake Rotary wanted to do something to get more books around into our community. So, with the assistance from teacher Joe Deutsch, Prior Lake members installed 10 little libraries across our community, and our students are the ones who help design, make, and paint them. Ideas. Community education knows how creative kids can be, and this summer they provided a kids art market just for them. So during the summer, the kids made different art things, paintings, jewelry, all kinds of things, and then they sold it to the community. What a great way to help the community be a part of the ideas our students have. Administration team learned about human-centered design thinking. It's a wonderful protocol that we'll be sharing with all of you to really bring ideas to life. A few people attended a 3-day Stanford Design School workshop as well, and we just think it has a lot of potential for continuing to help us develop little ideas, build protocols and prototypes, and then ensure that those ideas come to life. So we're excited to see how that goes. Maddie and Bella talked about, ideas have been gathered all summer and all last spring, from staff, from community members, from school board members, from students, from parents, working on different designs for some of our new learning spaces. We're grateful for the ideas that folks have, and we're really excited as we take those ideas, move them into concepts, and then ultimately have them be plans that our board approved, and we can start working on those projects. So really excited about that. Here's an example of the outcome of some of that. This is what the next slide, Christy. Here's what the concepts are for the new Bridges ALC. As you know, that has been an unbelievable program now in its 10th year, and the work that has been done to personalize learning for students and to help all kids there reach their full potential has been unbelievable. And they've had the worst teaching and learning environments in the district. This is unbelievable, and I've never seen a staff so grateful for what's going to be happening because they know what they're going to be able to do for kids in terms of personalized learning and project-based learning. So, on September 10th, at our school board meeting, the board will be taking action on an agreement for this land to build a new elementary school. So, we are really excited, as Belle and Maddie pointed out, on the work that's been done, and it's been so refreshing because as we've talked about building a school, what we've really talked about is what do we want the learner experience to be, and we've got some great ideas around that. A couple other things that have happened this summer. Ideas turn to plans, turn to amazing new learning spaces. Five Hawks got some work done this summer, as did Glendale. And these are great, but small projects compared to what we're going to be talking about next year at this time. Also, I think it's really amazing how we share ideas across buildings. Jeffers Pond has a new bus parent kid drop-off area, and really that stemmed from an idea from Glendale. So really helping each other, how do we make sure that we've got efficient systems and that we can do things really well across the district. So really excited about all of those construction things. Last week, the week before school and workshops officially started, 35 teachers chose to spend 3 days with the Buck Institute and project-based learning. Again, the energy was amazing. Again, this is 3 days before official workshop starts. And the energy in the room, the excitement, the ideas that were flowing, the cross-curricular connections, the cross-grade level and cross-school connections were absolutely unbelievable. I'm excited for this team of teachers to really lead us forward and continue helping us do project-based learning and personalized learning really well for kids. So thank you for that. As we started this, we talked about the importance of student ideas. So we have amazing super fans here. And what the super fans do every year is they take a look at all the games and they determine what the theme is, what they're going to wear. So they've got adults that assist with that, but the super fans had the themes for the entire year set. However, this past Monday, entirely on their own, they changed the theme for the football game tonight against Shakopee to a whiteout in support of Shakopee schools losing their superintendent, Gary Anger. Our students have great ideas for what they need to learn, and our students have great ideas for how to show kindness, how to show love, how to show compassion, and how to have empathy for others. This is one of the things that I am so proud of. We've got MCAs, and we've got AP scores and ACT scores, and we've got all of those great things. This is something that really matters. And adults have great ideas too. Someone had the idea, perhaps it was Russ Reeves or Dr. Bizik or one of our esteemed football coaches, to utilize the new Vikings Twin Cities Orthopedic Performance Center to host high school football games this fall as a service to our communities. So, right? October 12th, Prior Lake Lakers versus Lakeville North Panthers. Lots of reasons that's going to be a fun opportunity for our students and maybe some of our staff. And in case you missed the picture on the previous slide, ideas, innovate, and engage students in student-centered personalized learning is the degree to which our mission and our strategic plan is going to come to life. Thank you for all you do each day to make that happen. I know how hard your work is every single day. And I know that we have everything we need right here in this room to make that mission come to life, to ensure that we personalize learning for kids, to grab their passions and their interests and make sure that they leave our school district with lots of skills and lots of passions to create their own dreams and reach their full potential. Today I'm delighted to invite you a chance to pause, to learn, to reflect, and continue to think about the importance that you have in your ideas in making a difference for our collective success. So right now I'd like to welcome members from the Brave New Workshop. Jenny Lildahl is the co-owner of the nation's largest running satirical comedy theater, the Brave New Workshop, founded by Dudley Riggs. As the president of Brave New Workshop's nonprofit school, Jenny works as a trailblazer for integrating improv practices and humor for personal growth, and has touched more than 15,000 humans and will certainly be touching us today. Her adaptive improv work has led to hundreds of improv outreach programs in the community, including people living with cancer and young adults with developmental disabilities. Jenny has received the honors of Top 50 Women in Business, 40 Under 40, Alumni Honors from Augsburg College, and WCCO Radio's Good Neighbor Award. So please help me join me in welcoming Jenny to the stage.
Good morning!
Good morning.
I am so excited to be here. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, because I blended with the curtain. Can you still see me? Okay, good. I did not get the memo on the blue and gold. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if I'm wearing some other district's colors or other schools' colors. I am so very excited to be here, and truly this is one of my favorite things in the whole world to do, which is practice improv with people. So I said improv and I said with. So, please nobody leave the room. We're going to have some fun together. Let's see, I'm going to try this. Well, here we go. Thank you. So, Brave New Workshop. Who has heard of the Dudley Riggs Brave New Workshop? Brave New Workshop, who has been? Thank you. Awesome. Good. So yes, it is the longest running comedy theater in our country, 60 years. We're celebrating 60 years this year. And my husband and I, thank you. My husband and I, we bought the theater 22 years ago from Dudley. And we are just grateful. We're so grateful to be a part of this amazing institution. So if you've not been to the Brave New Workshop, I'll just give you a very brief description. We are basically a live version of Saturday Night Live, so satire and sketch comedy and improv. And our current show is Ferris Muller's Day Off. And so we are always on the cusp of staying on top of current news and creating satire around that. We also have a school of improvisation, which is where my experience really is. For the past 25 years, thank you, yes. It's fun to have a comedy theater, and our actors are amazing. They come up with very funny things to put on our marquee, and so this was during the Super Bowl when we were trying to get a little attention on Hennepin Avenue. So that was fun. So my role really at the Brave New Workshop is improv, and I teach improv. And so that is what I'm going to be doing with you guys today. Let's click here. There. Before that, though, I want to start with some gratitude. And I'm always humbled and just have a sense of humility when I'm in a room of teachers. So these are my two boys, William and Michael. William started 10th grade this week, and Michael starts 7th grade next week. And as many of you know as parents and teachers, that besides my family and my husband and my kids, the people I probably love most in the world are teachers and staff at schools that take care of my children. And I'm getting a little choked up because to hand these kids off every morning, to all of you and say, please take care of them and please help them and please make them better people. It's just, it's very humbling, and I'm starting with a thank you to all of you. So thank you. And a funny story about Michael, my little one there. So I have my dark circles under my eyes are a little darker than normal today because we have a new puppy in our house. So I forgot what it's like to have a baby, but and Michael has been asking for 6 years for a puppy. And we've said no for 6 years, and finally we said, okay, here's the deal. If you do all the planning, if you do all the research, and you and your brother come up with a plan, take care of the puppy, and it's not on Mom, then we'll consider shopping for a puppy. So the first thing Michael did was contact his science teacher at school, because she and he have a special relationship, and she's also his basketball coach, and she loves dogs. So he called her up and started asking questions. About 22 hours later, he had a 3-page spreadsheet. He had called the vet and interviewed the vet. He had gone to every dog breeder, dog rescue website to research. He knew exactly what he wanted. And my husband and I looked at it and said, I guess we're getting a dog. But those are all skills he got, obviously, from having great teachers in his life and being inspired to learn and being confident to go out there and go, this is something I want to learn about, and I'm going to go do it. And so thank you for that. A very funny add-on story to that. So we found Berkeley, a little boy puppy, and brought him home and had him around for a couple days. And we took him to the vet and found out Berkeley's a girl. Grade health class teacher. I had a very interesting, quite logical conversation with my son last night, and we did take a closer look at the puppies. And this is a picture of my sister Terry and me. I'm the one that looks like a really cute monkey. And I put that up there because I lost my sister 20 years ago to cancer, and she was a middle school health teacher. And she loved teaching. She was amazing, and she had a special way with middle school kids. And as some of you know, middle school is challenging. And she was my inspiration to have an idea that turned out to be an amazing idea, not my idea, but inspired by her. So when I lost my sister to cancer, we learned about an organization called Gilda's Club, which supports families. Oh, thank you, yes. So Gilda's Club is a free support organization to support families or people touched by cancer that have cancer in their lives, and to help them with the emotional and social part of the cancer journey. And so long story short, I and a couple other people, we founded the Gilda's Club Twin Cities. We opened 4 years ago. We raised $5 million. And we've served over 20,000 visits in the last 4 years. So I'm thanking my I'm so excited about this theme. I think it's amazing. And I want to share with you improv. So let's read this together. You guys can read. But the word improv strikes fear in people. I am not I'm not surprised about that. I've taught hundreds and hundreds of workshops, and always there's a sense of dread and fear in improv. I think sometimes the idea of ideas and creativity also have that same ability to strike fear in people. But if you look at this simple definition, improv is really two or more people that collaborate in an environment of uncertainty, and they're working together to create a solution for their customers. That is what you guys do. That's what you guys do every day. So I want to start by saying, you are already improvisers. We are all improvisers. We wake up every day. We may have a plan. We may have a lesson plan. We may have a schedule. We may have things plotted out. but something in your day is going to go differently than you expected. You might have a girl puppy. And as humans, we are built to adjust and to be nimble and to reframe and to take the new direction. And one of the things I learned with improv was that improv is a way to practice those behaviors and that mindset. And so we are going to practice that today. We're going to practice that mindset, we're going to practice those behaviors. It's going to be a lot of fun. Clicking. So I'm going to tell you more about what we do at the Brave New Workshop specifically, because you've heard about our theater. I'll tell you a little bit more about our school and our creative outreach. Our theme, sort of our internal mission theme, like if your theme is ideas matter, is transformative laughter. So in everything we do, we believe that the power of laughter and people connecting on a very intimate way, laughter and humor is a very intimate way to connect with people, that can be transformative. The connection, and you guys have been laughing already today. I had to follow Dr. Stalick, and she's funny. Yeah, she is. So everything we do, whether it's on our stage or in our classes or in our workshops, we are engaging humans to be transformed through laughter and through human engagement. We believe that practicing those behaviors of connecting and listening and sharing ideas and laughing together and supporting each other in a culture that's supportive of ideas can really transform people into being their best selves. When people feel comfortable to share their ideas, they come up with amazing things, as you've already seen in the previous slides. And so we practice that. And it's not only behavior, but it's a mindset. And so we're going to talk about that mindset today, what that improv mindset is, what the improv behaviors are that can help you guys come up with amazing ideas all year long. So for now, we're going to do a little fun thing. I'm going to invite two of my colleagues up to the stage. Lauren Anderson, if you've been to the Brave New Workshop in the last, how many years, Lauren? 100. 100! If you've been to the Brave New Workshop in the last 100 years, you've seen Lauren Anderson! Are going to come to our holiday show yet to be named. You will see Doug on our stage. I'm just setting my clicker down. Oh. Embarrassing! He had his reserved sign on his.
When you say improv, I clenched my butt. I think I did.
We're going to take the strengths finder later. Okay, so we're going to do a little improv for you guys, just to show you what we do in our jobs. And we love performing. And what we do is Lauren and Doug are on stage every week, and they're engaging with our audiences. And their job is to engage and connect with the audience. We've been watching your slideshows. We have some ideas we might rip off of here. And we're going to improvise and do some short scenes, and you'll just observe what we're doing, and we'll see if you can pick out the behaviors or the mindset that we're using to work with each other. And we'll ask you afterwards if you've had any observations. So let's see. Let's get us started. I'm going to get a suggestion for our first scene. And how about a location somewhere in the district here?
Janitor's closet.
It was hilarious, but I didn't hear it.
Janitor's closet.
What was janitor's closet? Excellent.
That was
The first scene will be the janitor's closet, and then you'll see we'll do a series of different scenes that go from there. All right, and action.
Thank you again, Mr. Stevens. Billy just reacted really terribly to, I think, the glue. So I'm using some of that shaky stuff to...
I got you. Welcome to my world.
This is a lot bigger from... It's like a TARDIS.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. it's bigger on the inside than it is from the outside. Yeah. It's like, ever see Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
That's my favorite book.
Come with me.
Nobody showed up for school today.
Yay. I just thought maybe you'd want some extra cucumbers.
Oh, yeah.
I got a bunch in my CSA. Yeah, fine, man. I'm keeping the zucchinis because I love a stir fry.
This is gonna be awesome for our health class. I'm teaching about puppies.
Lights. Oh, isn't it beautiful?
Absolutely.
I had this idea.
Yeah.
It was this big when I started.
Principal Johnson, I have a problem.
Go on.
When you talk about all learners, you mean all. Because Cartwright's mom cut me off on Highway 13 this morning. And I'm not that interested in, not a fan.
Well, we can every year leave one child behind. As your bicycle, I have to tell you, it's been really great.
Yes, it was a brilliant idea to ride a bike. Go! Faster! Oh, the battery's dead.
I'm a bicycle. How dare you?
It was just an innovation. I thought a battery on a bike and following the team. Oh no, I'm fired, aren't I?
I'm a bike. I can't fire you.
Coach, I love that idea. I'm not sure if that's the best way to swim.
I built this fire. And we're going to swim in this fire.
You guys are funny. You should work at a comedy theater. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Anyone want to shout out anything they observed? Anything you may have seen us doing sort of under the foundation of what was happening on stage? Why does that work? What was that? Flexibility, yes.
You never disagreed.
Yes, we never disagreed. Good. Correct.
Building on each other's ideas.
Yes, building on each other's ideas. So if someone has an idea, we build upon the idea versus critique and tear down or try another idea. You guys are good.
Someone got stuck, someone else came in and took over.
Thank you, yes, thank you. It is one of the greatest feelings in the world to improvise, and I'm out of breath. And it was a long time since I rode a bike. Thank you, Doug. I usually have a different seat, you watch a lot of improv or practice improv, is that supportive culture, that culture of support. We constantly have each other's back. We are never alone. If someone's faltering, someone's right there. Whether or not they know what to do next, they jump in anyways. And that's part of our secret sauce of what we do. I'm going to click the screen. Here we go. So let's talk a little bit about that fear piece again. And we have, at the Brave New Workshop, we've been doing this for about 30 years, kind of studying this, almost the science and the psychology of improv. And so obviously fear is a natural thing. We all have fear. And a part of our brain is built for that. We all have that part of our brain that actually is doing its job when it puts you in a state of fear or anxiety. That piece that says, wait, that's a big animal, I need to run. Or, this is not safe. Those are great things that your brain does. The brain, however, can't determine or can't differentiate between improv or giant bear. The brain may react the same to both. So that's how we are normally wired. And so that's part of our humanity. That's what makes us human. We have fears. On top of that, we have our own personal experiences that we bring to our work and our days, and things that happen to us when we're younger and we bring to our jobs. Improv can help us practice and get to that mindset of discovery and that innovative mindset. And that innovative mindset is where ideas can grow and flourish. When we're in that fear mindset, it's hard to face a new idea. Change is scary, and change feels like, no, resist, stop, we've always done it this way, now we have to do it this way, I have to learn something new, I don't know if I can do it. All of those things play out in that mindset of fear. We resist, we're not confident, we lose our confidence. And so in improvisation, we actually practice this mindset, that open mindset of being open and available to change. And then there are behaviors and actual things we do. And you guys have talked about some of them already. Maddie and Bella did such a brilliant job in talking about that. And the whole idea of listening to their ideas, that's probably rule number one or behavior number one as an improviser. We are good listeners. So when Doug and Lauren were up here, we were listening intently to what our partners were saying because our job was to build off what they were saying. So we had to be listening. And then I mentioned also that culture, the culture of support, and that's sort of that secret sauce. It's really hard to come up with ideas if you're getting yelled at. Or if every time you give an idea, somebody says, stupid idea, or that's not a great idea. We've all had that happen to us. So this is what we're going to play with today. Another way to talk about improv is this whole idea of improvisers declare. We make statements. We throw our idea out there. We connect with the people that are with us, and then we move forward together toward the solution. So it's a little different in that as improvisers, there's that moment where you cross the line from I'm observing and listening to now I'm going to share an idea and speak and put my idea out there. And it's risky. It's scary. Because we know in our lives we've had moments where people have said no to us or your idea doesn't matter. And so that moment of crossing that threshold from I think I have an idea, but I don't know if I can say it, is where that culture comes in and is critical that we all have this same mindset around how do we treat ideas. And we have a phrase in improv where we say ideas are gifts. We call them gifts. And if you take anything away today from this little Brave New Workshop session, that's one thing I want you to keep in your pocket. Ideas are gifts. Sometimes the gift might not be evident right away, and that's okay. But the ideas are gifts. And that's a common mantra you hear us talking about. And this is just a fun little graphic of how we talk about moving people from this mindset of fear to this mindset of discovery. And I'll go through this, but it's these ideas of when we're in that fear place, we tend to check out, we tend to criticize, we might whine and conceal and stall and whoa, whoa, whoa. And we're in that mindset of discovery, we're listening. We're kind of holding and deferring our judgment. We're reframing ideas, all right? We're declaring and we're jumping in. So we'll practice some of these today. We'll talk about them. Figuring out your puppy's a girl, I had to do a big reframe right there with my kids. And they weren't disappointed, they were excited, they didn't care. But there's that moment where something happens that you did not expect, and there's the choice of reframing that and finding what's resourceful and what's good in that moment, or stumbling back into fear. So these are some assumptions we make in improvisation. So we assume that all ideas have some usefulness, and that ideas do matter. And it doesn't matter if it's the perfect idea. It just has to be something. And there's some usefulness there. Even if it's the idea that doesn't get implemented, it may affect the other ideas. We also assume in improv that change is fuel instead of an obstacle. And that's a hard one. That's always hard. I did not look at my sister's illness as fuel, initially, but that the fuel came later when it was an inspiration to work on Gilda's Club. And mistakes are a source of learning and inspiration. You guys know this. This is all part of your culture already. You guys are amazing in this way, that you have to have mistakes to learn. And we never use the word mistake in improv. There's no such thing as a wrong idea in improv, which is amazing. And we don't need all of the information to just begin the process. That's a tough one, and that was a hard one for me. When I first learned improv, I was a list maker, and I was a planner, and I inherited that from my mother. Because every morning she would get up and make a list of her day, and I did that, and I felt like I needed that plan for the day, and that everything had to be figured out before I could begin. Improv flips that upside down. We begin knowing things aren't perfect, knowing we're human, knowing we're going to make mistakes, knowing our idea might not work right away, knowing we might have to change directions later, be nimble and flexible, and all those things you observed us doing. But we can begin. We might not know the road ahead of us. So those are some things we assume. One more slide, and then we're going to start playing here. So let's go. Listen. So we talked about listening. We talked about this earlier. This is really about being present. And we talk about in improv, we talk about this idea of being in your head or being present. So when you're in your head planning your day, some of you may be doing it right now, thinking like, I need to do this at noon today, I forgot to turn the oven off, or whatever we do as human beings. Has anyone not ever done that? Anyone raise your hand? No? Okay, good. So being present, and it's hard, it's not always easy to be present. But listening is a trick or a tool or a behavior you can use to get yourself present again. And being present and listening is where that magic of the idea can come in. When Lauren and Doug were up here and we were listening to each other, I never felt the pressure of needing to come up with the whole idea myself, because I knew as we were doing it together and we were listening to each other. So that listening is critical, and it's basic. It's making eye contact, it's waiting for your turn to talk, it's hearing what the person says and honoring their idea. Even if the idea won't work, you can still say thank you, and that's awesome. Deferring judgment. This is that idea again of, we assume all ideas have some potential. I love that idea I love the word potential, because it's completely positive, right? So any idea has potential. And so we put the judgment part of our process towards the end. So for example, as Lauren and Doug are creating the next main stage show at the Brave New Workshop, they're coming up with ideas of sketches and songs and things they can write and do. And for the beginning part of that process, the first couple of weeks, every idea goes on the board, there's no judgment. We let that flow and let that go, so we don't bring that critique into it. Reframing is finding the positive turnaround, using what you have. There's another phrase we have in improv, you always have what you need. I love that. That's one of the most powerful things I think I've learned in improv. You always have what you need in that moment. So if you think about what we do, we make stuff up. And everything we do is using our imaginations. We're creating everything. We're creating the environment. So we have everything we need. It's all right here. It's all right here. And I believe that's true about ideas. Somewhere out there, Every idea we ever need is there. So part of that is reframing when something goes a little bit differently than you expected to find the usefulness of that. Declaring, so again, we make statements, and when we're sharing ideas, we share and speak our mind. We're honest. We honor each other's honesty and truth. That's part of our work. And finally, you can't see, it says jump in. Jump in on the very bottom. So that jumping in, we talked about that already, but that idea of beginning even if you don't have everything you need. So I think it's time to play. Let's do this. Let's get through my gravity. Yay! She looks happy because she's improvising. So I'm going to invite Doug and Lauren back up. Checking the time, put my clicker down. All right. What was it called? CLR? What did you say? Tell me what that acronym is. Something like that. Okay. So we are going to be moving. We're going to be talking. Everything you're going to do today, you're going to be in your seats. No one's going to be embarrassed. I want to set a cultural norm right now before we begin. We always do this. So we're going to collectively, as a group, we are going to honor each other and agree that this will be a supportive environment and that we will have each other's back. All of those things you guys already talked about. We'll have each other's back. We'll smile. We'll help each other. People may be nervous. People may not be nervous. This is all a lot of fun. By the way, I've done these workshops for 25 years and not one single person has wet their pants. But truthfully, not one single person has failed at this. No. Thanks, Lauren. So it'll be fun. We're going to warm up. So we're going to warm up our bodies and our voices. We are going to stand up for a moment. Awesome. Good job. Some of you may have done this before. It's kind of like Simon Says, but it's called Everybody Go. So Lauren's going to start, then I'm going to go, then Doug, then Lauren, then basically Lauren's going to say, everybody go, and she's going to make a sound and a motion. Then all of us in the room together are going to say, yes! And then we're going to copy and repeat that sound and motion. So it's like Simon Says, and we're practicing that listening and jumping in, and here we go.
All right. Everybody go!
Yeah! Everybody go!
Yes!
Everybody go! Lakers!
Everybody go!
Everybody go!
Yes!
Everybody go! Hook, hack, hook, hack!
Everybody go!
Everybody go!
Everybody go!
All right, give me some. Good. We filmed that entire thing, and it'll be on the Facebook page tonight. Close-ups, everything. Awesome. Did everyone survive? You're okay? Yeah. Awesome. Silly, silly, silly. Sometimes we forget as adults to just be silly. It's fun. So thank you for participating. Thank you for moving and doing that. It's a silly little exercise, but it's got all of the basic elements of improv. And so we said yes. If you want to sound really cool at an improv party, you can use the word yes and. That's sort of our mantra in improv. Wherever you go on the globe and participate in improv, this phrase yes and is sort of our foundational mantra, which basically means we take every idea. Our initial response is to welcome it and say yes to it, hear it, accept it as a possible idea, And then the and is add to that idea. So that's the secret of improv. Those two things, the secret sauce, yes and that culture of support. So we're going to practice that kind of yes thing and how we treat ideas in this next exercise. So for the next few exercises, you guys are going to just do these in your chair. You can turn to the person next to you. If there's an odd number, figure it out, improvise, you know. So we will just do these, turn to someone next to you, and we're going to practice that idea of what do we do when an idea comes our way. All right? So Lauren and Doug are going to demonstrate this exercise. So this is called What's in the Box. So Doug has an imaginary gift. He's going to hand that imaginary gift to Lauren. Lauren says,
Hi Doug, what's in the box?
and then Doug's going to say whatever he wants to. He can make it up. He gets to use his imagination.
A pair of designer corn holders.
And then Lauren's first words are going to be,
Thank you! I'm going to use these designer pair of corn holders to impress all the corn eaters at the next fashion show.
Imaginary gift. Give the gift to your partner, make eye contact. That partner receives the gift and says, what's in the box? You can tell them anything you want. They're going to say thank you first. That's sometimes the hardest part, but it's very, very, very important. That thank you is important. And then tell them a use for the object, all right? And let's go a little beyond the obvious. So if you get a bowling ball, we all know you could say, thank you, I'm going to go bowling, all right? So stretch yourself. Put yourself in that place of, I just received an idea. My job is to figure out some way to use this idea. And it's improv, so you can make up whatever you want. There's no wrong answer. You get to say whatever you'd like. All right, so turn to your partner. We're going to do this for a few minutes. What amazing sound that is. That was like 1,200 ideas just buzzing in here. That was amazing. Lauren and Doug are in the audience with microphones. I'd love to hear some reflections, some sharing of what happened in your little practice. Raise your hand. Lauren's right there. Doug's right there. If anyone wants to share, raise your hand or shout. Oh, thank you, Doug. Thank you, Dave. Someone's got a learning they want to share. How did it feel? What kind of, I'd love for someone, if someone's daring and feeling vulnerable, to share how that felt. Sharing an idea. Okay, you can go ahead and yell. I'll repeat.
I felt warm.
She felt warm, good.
And also when I said thank you, even though I could use a rest of what she gave me, after I said thank you, then all these things started to come in my mind.
Yes.
Of saying thank you, the graciousness that cleared my mind to accept.
Awesome. I'm going to repeat what you said just in case I wrote it in here. She said that when she said thank you, and it didn't matter what the gift was, that she felt an openness all of a sudden, and all these ideas started coming, and it kind of opened your mind. Is that right? Amazing. So that's why that thank you is so important. And think about what she just said. She said thank you, and all of a sudden things opened up. So another little catchphrase we have in improv is, if you're feeling nervous, be of service. And again, sharing ideas can make people nervous. Think of your students. You all have students that are nervous in class, are nervous to share, nervous to talk in front of the group, nervous about how they're going to perform, and you're in the role of service. That's what you guys do. You help people. And so you can do that for each other. You can do that for yourself. You can thank yourself for the idea. But it is really that little piece of receiving an idea with a thank you is pretty magical. It also puts a pause in there if you aren't sure what to do with the idea, or if you know in the back of your head that idea is horrible, you can still say thank you for that idea. Thank you. As the receiver of the thank you, how did that feel? Did it feel great or not great? Good. Yeah. Good.
Wait, I think I have a reflection here.
We have a question or comment. Thank you.
What you were saying you felt what?
I did. I felt
You felt validated.
She may have laughed through it. but validated and affirmed were the two words I was able to.
Awesome. Any other comments on that exercise? Anyone else? I can't see very well, so if you have one more. There's one more, yes. Over here, who was raising their hand? You were pointing, you were electing someone to speak? Okay, here we go, yes, thank you.
I felt like when I was giving my gift, I wanted to think about the person, because I could put anything in the entire world in that box, but I was roadblocked really by thinking about her, what should be in that box for her. And it inhibited my ability to be a little creative.
Yes, interesting. So she said that when she gave the gift, she knew she could give, intellectually, she knew she could give anything. As I said, anything can go in the box. But she felt a little inhibited by wanting to give the gift that fit that person. So that's another version of our own judgment that we place on our own ideas. Because we believe the idea has to be perfect and has to be fully developed, and that's completely normal. We all do that. We all do that with ourselves. I did it yesterday. I was preparing for a meeting and I thought, I have to do this exactly right. So that's, and again, part of this culture that you guys can create for each other, in knowing that the ideas are not going to be fully developed, they're not going to be perfect, but we work together to say yes to those ideas and develop them together. Thank you for sharing that. That was really great. All right, let's do another exercise. And we're going to have Lauren and Doug come back up here. So we're going to build off that. We're going to, are you okay, Doug?
I came all the way from that third chair.
Oh. All right, we're going to build on that idea of yes. And now we're going to literally work in teams of 2 to create a story. And I know you guys did some story sharing last year. So you're going to create a story together. And I literally mean together. So we're going to demonstrate this. This is called Yes and Story. And so one person's going to start the story and make a statement. And they're going to say something, and we'll give these guys a suggestion to start. And every consecutive line that is shared, the person is going to start with the word yes and. So every time you speak, you are going to literally build off the last person that spoke said. So if I said, hey, we're going to tell a story about something that happened between us. If we went to Valley Fair, I'm going to say, that time we went to Valley Fair, I got so sick on the ride. Yes, you got so sick. You threw up your lunch, your dinner, your breakfast, and your homework, or whatever, okay? So every line is going to build on the person's previous line. So here's what we're doing in this. We're literally focusing on that listening piece. Your only job is to say yes to what they said and add to it. So if you have any pressure on yourself of thinking, well, I have to think of something, you don't. All you have to do is add to what they said. So there's no pressure. In fact, that part of your brain is going to want to mess with you and go, well, I got to think of something ahead of time, or it has to be funny, or it has to be brilliant. No, it doesn't have to be any of those things. It just has to be the next thing that builds off their idea. Okay, so these guys are going to demonstrate. I'm going to have you guys tell the quick story about the time you both started as teachers at the elementary school. You started the same year.
My first day at Glendale, I was so nervous.
Yes, and then we met in the entryway, and I was nervous too, so I just spilled coffee all over the both of us.
Yes, I remember how hot that was. And I had thought ahead and brought an extra shirt in my bag.
Yes, and I was so impressed by the blue of your shirt because it reminded me of my favorite color blue, which is cerulean.
Yes, and you have that little marble paperweight on your desk of the Buddha, and it's cerulean, and I remember seeing it and thinking, wow, you must be calm.
Our brains will want to go forward, our brains will want to critique and judge and just simplify it. Focus on listening to your partner and adding something to one of the words they said. if you need to, you can repeat what they said. And this is from the old couples marriage therapy. Yes, I heard you say your favorite color was cerulean and that paperweight. So yeah, you can repeat what they said. That's completely fine. So go ahead and pick a partner and tell them the story. I'm seeing a lot of laughing and some drooling too. So that's good. Does anyone have something amazing happen in their story or something odd that you'd love the whole room to hear about? Let's see. No hands are going up. Someone's going to be brave and share. Oh, there's one, Doug. Awesome.
So our story involved some bumping music, boxed wine, and a dead cow.
Yes. Oh, we have one here.
Mr. Graham's students all decided that pooping their pants was cool, but it was okay because it led to all of them getting 5s on the AP exam.
Yes. Oh, here's one. Shout it out.
We did the milking barn at the fair with Martha's chocolate chip cookies.
No, the milking barn at the fair with Martha's chocolate chip cookies. Yes. Did I have another one here? Anyone else? All right, last chance. All right, let's talk more about the psychology part of this. So how did that feel to share with someone and hear the yes and building upon the idea, both as the receiver and then the sharer? Anyone want to make a comment about a discovery they made? Easier than you thought, really? Good.
The hard part was coming up with the initial idea. And my first thought was, if someone gives me a prompt, then I'm fine.
Sure.
But I had to come up with myself and really hard.
Okay, so the very first line to start your whole scene was hard, right? Yeah, and that's totally normal. So yeah, basically I said, here's a blank page, do anything. That's difficult, right? And so having a prompt can make things easier. So that's a great observation to know if any of you are working with your teams or your students and you're in that idea generation phase. Giving prompts and creating that culture to help people get started is great. Good observation. And then it became easier after that. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. One last one, and then we'll do one final exercise.
Back here.
Doug's got one. Make Doug run. Make Doug run. Make Doug run. Oh, good. We're passing the mic.
It takes away the fear because you know when the person comes up with the idea that it's going to be a yes and then built upon.
Yes, magical, correct. Yay, thank you for saying that. If you guys have this agreement, if there's a cultural norm that when ideas are shared, we treat them as gifts no matter what, you will get more ideas. People will share more. It's just simple, it's human. We are human beings. We want to feel loved and we want to feel affirmed and we want to know that our ideas matter. So if you treat those ideas almost with this sacredness of this is a beautiful thing that just came here and know that there will be a yes. Somewhere, someone will have a yes for my idea. Even if my idea doesn't go to the total fruition, they still heard my idea. So guess what? I'm going to give more ideas. So that's how we treat them. All right, we're going to do one last exercise. Lauren and Doug are coming back up here. And for this one, I would love to have 3 or 4 or 5 volunteers join us on stage. And we're going to clap until we get those people.
You guys get that picture again.
Awesome. All right, Lauren's going to walk the mic and have everyone, why don't you tell us your name and where you work or what's your involvement here?
Hi, I'm Laura. I work at Glendale in the life program.
Nice.
I'm Ethan. I work at the high school.
Awesome. Thank
I'm
you.
Bella and I don't work anywhere.
Okay, my name is Mireya, I am one of the interns of La Ola del Lago. Sorry for my English.
I'm loud. I'm loud anyway. I'm Jenny. I'm a social worker, counselor, and former theater director.
Awesome. Thank you guys for coming up here. That is very brave and amazing. So we are going to do an exercise together. Doug will join on this side and Lauren. So this is kind of culminates with everything we've done today, but really focusing on jumping in. Jumping in when you're uncomfortable. We have another catchphrase we use in improv, which is this idea of being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Being comfortable, being uncomfortable. And we all have moments in our lives like that, where we're doing something where we know this is not comfortable for me. I am not comfortable right now. As improvisers, we practice being comfortable anyways. Because we walk on stage every night, we have nothing. We don't have a script, we don't know what's going to happen. We have to be comfortable. Also, by being comfortable in uncomfortable situations, we perform and become our best selves. That's when we come up with ideas. That's when we can do things we never thought we could do, because we found a little bit of comfort in that uncomfortable moment. So, we're gonna practice being a little uncomfortable and doing it anyways. And again, that secret sauce is that culture of support, because these guys are up here. So everything you do in the next few moments is going to help make them feel a little more comfortable. So this is really a brainstorming game. It's called Clams Are Great. And so in this game, at any given moment, one of these people, one of these beautiful 7 people, one of them will be here in the hot spot. And they will be repeating the phrase, clams are great because, and then filling in the blank. And they can say anything. It can be true, it can be made up. You can speak it in a different language if you want. You can say whatever you want. And after every idea you share, the entire room is going to say yes, okay? We'll do like a hushed yes, because I think it might be intimidating to have the 600 of you yell yes. So after every idea, we yes. Now, that person's going to be brainstorming up here, and at some point they might falter a little bit or stumble, or they might just be done, and then someone else randomly from back here is going to tag them out and continue. And so someone just has to be standing here brainstorming, and we're always saying, clams are great because, da-da-da, clams are great because. And we're going to, there's no order. Take turns, jump in whenever you want, all right? So part of the role of being on the team is that they might have to jump in when they're not ready. They might see their partner kind of stumbling, and someone might have to jump in. Yeah, we don't want you to jump off stage. They might have to jump in when they're not ready to jump in, and that's part of that, I'm going anyways. All right, so, and we will have one, Lauren's gonna start, but let's give one of these guys, well, I'll hold
the mic, the clam person can just have the mic.
Yes, perfect. All right, here we go. Lauren's gonna start. Clams are great!
All right! Clams are great because we're all here in the morning!
Yes!
Clams are great because I have a shirt on!
Yes!
Clams are great because I agree with butter!
Yes!
Clams are great because I read a book this summer!
Yes! Go.
Clams are great because they're delicious and nutritious.
Yes!
Clams are great because they're rainbow colors.
Yes!
Clams are great because they are so smart.
Yes!
Clams are great because they're funny.
Yes! Good job.
Clams are great because you don't need to wear shoes.
Yes!
Clams are great because they taste like cotton candy.
Yes!
Clams are great because you don't need deodorant.
Yes!
Clams are great because then you don't need children.
Clams are great because they never talk. Clams are great because they live in the ocean. Clams are great because they make a great chowder. Clams are great because they're good listeners. Clams are great because they are around the world.
Good.
Okay. Clams are great because they open and close. Clams are great because they don't smell. Clams are great because, I don't know.
Because they're clams. Clams are great because they have glasses. Clams are great because they are wet. Clams are great because they don't wear anything.
Clams are great because they're blue. Yes. Clams are great because I found one once. Yes. Clams are great because they're not oysters. Yes. Clams are great because one time at band camp I found... Clams are great because...
Yes, good.
Clams are great because they can fly.
Yes!
Clams are great because they wear suits.
Yes!
Clams are great because they don't have teeth.
Yes!
Clams are great because they make movies.
Yes!
Clams are great because they found...
Clams are great because they tell jokes.
Yes!
Clams are great because they're super fashionable.
Yes!
Clams are great because they have kids.
Yes!
Clams are great because they're super intelligent.
Yes!
Clams are great because they make awesome pets.
Yes!
Clams are great because they have wonderful British accents.
Yes!
Clams are great because they can crawl on the floor.
Yes!
Clams are great because they only live in salt water.
Yes!
Clams are great because they're wonderful.
Clams are great because they live in the ocean.
Yes!
Clams are great because they don't have to perform.
Yes! To comment how that felt or what you learned or anything? Yes, Bella!
It was awkward. It was awkward. That was probably me.
Yes.
I felt like very comfortable because I know that whatever I say, they will say yes.
All right, let's give them a round of applause. Awesome. All right, we are wrapping up here. You guys, look at these sad actors. Give them a round of applause. Just to review, listening, we did that. We are great listeners. We deferred judgment. We refrained. Clams are awesome no matter what. We found lots of ideas in clams. We declared. We spoke. We threw our ideas out there, and you guys jumped in. That was amazing. I loved what you said. I can't remember your name. When she said, clams are great because I don't know. And what did we do as a group when that happened? Yes. And we smiled with her and we said yes, and we laughed because we all know what that feels like, right? And she was honest. That is that's amazing, to share your honest truth, and then as your culture to support that and to treat that with care and treat ideas with care. It can be pretty magical. You guys were really amazing. I'm so honored we got to do this with you. We had a blast. And best of luck to you on your year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please, please, please celebrate your ideas. You guys are amazing, and enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you.
Thank you, Jenny, Doug, and Lauren. What a wonderful gifts you gave us today. If we can, and I know we can, as we maintain the spirit of yes and the spirit of cheering each other up no matter what, even when we falter, even when we don't know, the spirit of knowing that it's okay when we don't know, all of those things are going to contribute to an absolutely amazing year. Thank you to Brand New Workshop for reminding us that all of the creativity and the ideas that we need to ensure that our mission comes to life for all kids, to ensure that we come every day with joy and huge satisfaction about the lives we impact and the work we do. They're right here. They're right here in this auditorium with each one of you, with each one of us, and we're going to continue to help each other bring ideas, big, small, medium, all kinds of ideas to fruition to make sure that this continues to be the We Are PLSAS that we all want, because nobody else is going to create what we want this district to be, except us and those 8,795 students that are going to greet us tomorrow. So we are here tomorrow. Not tomorrow. See? Yes, and they're going to. Some of them will be here tomorrow at cross country practice. Some of them will be here watching film after the football game. Yes, thank you. This is nice. I'm gonna make sure we have this up as at board meetings too. Deficit. Yes! We are not quite on time with some of our construction. Yes! So now, as we launch the 2018-19 school year, it really is time to hear your ideas.
I have an idea. What if we learn every child's story?
What if we could watch each other teach?
What if we broke down walls to personalize learning?
What if special ed co-taught with gen ed?
What if we flexibility grouped with our grade level teams? What if we celebrate mistakes?
What if we teach students from other classrooms?
What if students choose how they demonstrate learning? What if kids teach each other? What if every child made adult connections every day? What if we coach behaviors instead of punish them?
What if we have permission to try all of our crazy ideas?
We can.
So we can learn each child's story?
Watch each other teach.
We can break down walls to personalize learning?
We can have special ed co-teach with gen ed.
We can flexibility group within grade level teams. We can celebrate mistakes.
We can teach students from other classrooms.
We can let students choose how to demonstrate learning. We can have kids teach each other. We can have every student make adult connections every day. We can coach behaviors instead of punish them.
And we can have permission to try our crazy ideas.
You can and you do. So that was cool, because that wasn't planned with the yeses. That was powerful. And all of your voices in affirmation of what if and yes we can is the reason I love serving the school district with all of you. So you do have permission, you do have responsibility to ensure that whatever ideas that you have that are good for kids happen. So let's not waste any time at all. Right now, we need your ideas. There are orange Post-it notes under your chairs. Right now, there's some pencils around. Write one idea. What if? What if? One thing. Just one thing. Write one thing. What if? We're going to ask you, whatever those ideas are, and I know you've got a whole lot more, we're going to ask you as you exit, there are some signs that look like this up. We want you to put that Post-it note up there. And just to represent that on day one as we kick off tomorrow, we have so many ideas and so many ideas that we're going to keep sharing with each other throughout the year. So please do that. Your ideas matter. Your ideas will ensure that we truly will continue to educate all learners to reach their full potential as contributing and productive members of our ever-changing global community. And here are some of those learners right now.
Good morning, I'm Brian Melody, I'm Director of Bands at Twin Oaks Middle School, and this is my colleague Dagan Hansen over here from Hidden Oaks Middle School. Expanding on the theme of PLSAS Ideas Matter, the group behind us is the Summer Bandits, we call them. They started with an idea of how we could successfully get students excited about playing in an ensemble over the summer months. We threw out the rule book and decided to incorporate all band instruments into a jazz-like ensemble beyond just the traditional instrumentation. We started 6 years ago with a healthy enrollment and have seen the numbers grow to what we have here today. And many of these students are on their second, third, or even fourth summer joining us. This is also the only ensemble in our district that spans grade levels in both middle school and high school, with students starting 7th grade through 12th grade this year. We also think it matters to engage the community each summer, and we do a performance to a packed house at the Prior Lake VFW. So we're going to continue our program here quick, and Dagan Hansen's going to lead the band, and we want this title of this piece to be your motto going into next Tuesday. It's called Don't You Worry About a Thing.
and to Dagan and to our summer bandits. So absolutely amazing. They do have 2 more pieces that they're going to play after I end these comments right now. You can stay and listen. You can listen as you start to leave, whatever you need to do for the rest of your day. Thank you for everything you've done to get us to today. Thank you for everything that you're going to do yet before our students come back on Tuesday. And thank you for everything that I know you're going to do every second of the school year to ensure that our kids have everything that they need to reach their full potential. Your ideas matter and you matter. Thanks. Let's have a great year.